Hello, and welcome to the Inspired Living with Ellen Broderick podcast. And I'm your host, Ellen Broderick. So this week we are going to be focusing on a particular mystic poet, and she was a Dominican sister as well, St. Catherine of Sienna, and one of her pieces of work. And this is going to be now the next series of probably 8 podcasts are going to be short and sweet again. So we will alternate back and forth here a little bit, but the next coming series will be short and sweet. So a little bit about St. Catherine. She had devoted herself for her lifetime, which was 14th century, and she was born in Sienna, obviously Italy. But she devoted herself to relieving mental and emotional suffering in others. And she was said to have had just a very profound interest in all humans that came her way. And she was very aware of the suffering that people had. She also said that so much of suffering was caused by a misunderstanding of God's true nature. And she pointed out that God was so capable of forgiving all, and that his forgiveness was certain. I think that is so in such an amazing thought to latch onto, that God is forgiving, and that our hearts are uh, are tender, and that is a reflection of God's own heart. So let's go ahead and get ready for a meditation. I'm going to bring you into the meditation, just a brief introduction into the meditation, and then we will read a poem of hers that's interpreted by Daniel Ledensky called The Hymns of the Earth. And then I'll just lead you right back out again. So get yourself in a comfortable seated position. You want to be seated upright, most likely, if that's available to you. And your shoulders should be directly over your hips and aligned with the hips. And then your head shouldn't be too far forward or too far back, but just nicely balanced between forward and back and side to side, resting over your shoulders. Closing the eyes or soft gaze downward. Come to your breath. Noticing as the breath enters the body, noticing as the breath leaves the body. St. Catherine says, I want to be a hermit and only hear the hymns of the earth and the laughter of the sky and the sweet gossip of the creatures on my limbs, the forests. I want to be a hermit and not see another face look upon me and tell me I was not all the beauty of this world. For so many faces do that, cage us. The wings we have are so fragile. They can break from just one word or a glance void of love. I want to live in that cloister of light's silence, because is it not true? The heart is so fragile and shy. I want to be a hermit and only hear the hymns of the earth and the laughter of the sky and the sweet gossip of the creatures on my limbs, the forests. I want to be a hermit and not see another face look upon mine and tell me I was not all the beauty of this world. For so many faces do that, cage us. The wings we have are so fragile, they can break from just one word or a glance void of love. I want to live in that cloister of light's silence, because is it not true? The heart is so fragile and shy. Bring your attention back to your breath. Allowing the breath to completely fill and completely empty. Listening to sounds that are in and around where you are. And then opening the eyes and rejoining. So, St. Catherine of Sienna, quite extraordinary. And I think her words are very welcome in my life. So, I hope that you enjoyed that. And we'll join again next week. In the meantime, I hope you have a wonderful week for the Inspired Living with Ellen Broderick podcast. Have a good one.